Hello, this is Tuesday, July 19th, and this is From the South. We start off in Latin American news. Colombia's foreign ministry has announced that there will be no more temporary openings of the border it shares with Venezuela. Minister Maria Ángela Holguín said that they're working so that the next opening is permanent. The border was closed a year ago by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro to address smuggling and other criminal activities.
The board of directors of Honduras National University announced the cancellation of the academic period after massive ongoing student protests. Thousands of students took to the streets in Tegucigalpa again on Friday after the announcement. The cancellation affects 80,000 students, many whom believe it is a strategy to demobilize the university student movement that has been protesting against the privatization of the university for 2 months.
I believe that this is a strategy by the authorities to make students go away. It's showing off their intransigence, because instead of looking for dialogue, what they have done is repress the students.
Students say the university board of directors has criminalized the student movement. 75 students that participated in the occupation of the university facilities in June were accused of sedition and trespassing on private property. The students have demanded that the accusations be dropped as a condition to begin a negotiation that could stop the protests. Instead of opening a dialogue with the students, the board of directors decided to close the university.
Una rotunda estupidez.
This is completely stupid. This shows their incapacity to dialogue because they forget that the most important thing in the university are the students. They can cancel this year and the next, but without the students, they are nothing.
Pero sin los estudiantes no son nada.
Despite the cancellation of the academic year, the students have promised to continue with their demands. They say they will kick off on the next semester in September with even more strength to protest and demand representation and an end to privatization. Gerardo Torres, teleSur, Honduras.
Colombia's constitutional court has given its approval for a popular referendum on a historic peace deal being negotiated with FARC rebels. President Juan Manuel Santos said that the citizens' vote will allow the agreement to become a reality. At least 7 cars in Rio de Janeiro were set on fire near the Maracanã Stadium early Tuesday morning, just hours after President Michel Temer issued an assurance to visitors that the city is safe for Olympic tourists. In contrast, Brazilians have been expressing frustration with the government, which they say is prioritizing the Olympics over the needs of the city's residents. Now on to world news. At least 56 civilians have been killed in U.S.-led airstrikes against areas in Syria held by the Islamic State group. According to the Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, the civilians had apparently been mistaken for jihadists and were bombed while fleeing fighting in the Aleppo province. A spokesperson for Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan says Ankara is preparing a formal extradition request for U.S.-based cleric Fethullah Gülen on suspicion that he organized last Friday's attempted coup. Gülen has denied any involvement in the military coup and hinted that the coup might have been staged to justify his arrest. The wife of Donald Trump, Melania, made her first major political speech on Monday at the first day of the Republican National Convention. However, she has come under fire for seemingly plagiarizing a portion of a speech given by Michelle Obama in 2008. Trump's team said Mrs. Trump used common words. It has downplayed the comparisons. Indonesian police report they believe they have killed the country's most wanted militant in a jungle gun battle. Police will carry out a DNA test on the body to confirm it is Santoso. The militant led a faction that backed the Islamic State group and was placed on the U.S. Most Wanted list in 2014. A Taiwan tour bus carrying tourists from China crashed into a highway railing en route to the airport and burst into flames Tuesday. All 26 people on board were killed. The cause of the fire was unclear. Taiwan authorities are investigating.
Gaza's Ministry of Social Affairs announced Tuesday morning that it would be distributing the first round of Turkish aid to needy residents in the coastal region. Yusuf Ibrahim, Ministry Assistant Secretary, said in a press conference that about 11,000 Palestinian families would benefit from the distribution. He also noted that the second phase of aid will kick off before the Muslim Eid al-Adha holiday in September.
سيستفيد من هذه المرحلة
11,000 needy Palestinian families consisting of 9 or more members registered with the ministry will benefit from this aid. We will carry out our plan in distributing the Turkish humanitarian aid to include all the neediest residents.
The Turkish ship carrying the aid docked at the Israeli port of Ashdod on July 3rd. The 12,000-ton cargo, which included basic foodstuffs, toys, children's clothing and shoes, was unloaded and inspected before it was sent to Gaza via Israel's Kerem Shalom crossing. The aid is part of the Israeli-Turkish reconciliation agreement signed in late June to end 6 years of diplomatic strife between the two countries. Under the agreement, Israel has allowed Turkey to build a power plant and a water desalination facility in Gaza. Turkey will also continue to send aid shipments to the Strip. Relations between Israel and Turkey crumbled after Israeli naval boats stormed the Turkish-owned ship Mavi Marmara in May 2010 as it attempted to carry aid to the blockaded territory. The attack resulted in the deaths of 10 Turkish activists abroad. Nur Harazin, teleSur's TV, Gaza.
Finally, Russia must wait to learn if it can send a team to the Rio Olympics on August 5th. This comes after calls for the country to be barred from the Games for operating a 4-year state-sponsored doping program. The International Olympic Committee says it will explore the legal options before making the decision on whether or not to implement a collective ban on all Russian athletes. And that's all for From the South. You can find these and many other stories on our website, telesurtv.net/English.